Hey guys, Crypto Sunday and a bit of a red week again. The chaps on TikTok will be telling me I was completely wrong not to sell the top and wait for $20,000 Bitcoin. I still don't agree. So I'm holding out. Haven't quite made the buy that I was hoping to make. Probably will just be, I've got a little bit of cash on the side, probably will be about £1,000 of Solana. Nothing too big at the moment, kind of focusing on miners and sort of other bits and pieces. But yeah, about 10,000 down on the week. Sort of various different moves, but just looking at some of the news, it'd be nice to see at some point the sort of fear over Tether going bust going away. They are benefiting very much from high interest rates, it seems. They've made $1.48 billion in 3 months. This sort of comes from holding $82 billion, it seems, or yeah, about $80 billion in sort of combination of treasuries and cash, earning interest, and they hold a little bit of Bitcoin and gold. And yeah, if you pay zero interest to holders and you make all of that cash, it's very easy to make a rather nice profit. So people have always been concerned that the backing wasn't there, and there was nothing behind the stable coins. But if you're making 1.5, nearly $1.5 billion, then obviously you've got something there earning that money. I would hope they haven't got too much in Bitcoin itself, because that is very volatile, and that's not really what you want too much of a stable coin in, even gold to a certain extent. But I guess they're a little bit unsure about US treasuries. So, yeah, I've also seen Circle backing away a little bit from sort of longer dated treasuries, but would have thought Circle also are doing pretty well. And yeah, according to the Q1, they actually hold 2.4 billion in excess of the amount of tokens in circulation. So it's not an audit by a big four auditing firm, but it is still sort of a sort of financial attestation, they call it, by financial services firm BDO Italia. Presume they can't get one of the big four involved, or wouldn't want to, but yeah, $2.4 billion, and I think the profit really, highlights that, unless they've got a huge amount in Bitcoin. They say they have 3.4 billion in gold and 1.5 billion in Bitcoin, so it wouldn't have made that much. I would imagine it is just treasuries at 5% and not paying any interest, of course. So good news. This is partly what's causing the Bitcoin miners to sort of perform reasonably well, even though Bitcoin has been dropping. So the ordinals and sort of a few bits and pieces, meme tokens and that sort of thing, are driving up fees on both Ethereum and Bitcoin. And yeah, the miners sort of get this fee almost as a bonus on top of, you can really only expect 6.25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes, distributed throughout the whole world. But recently there have been some blocks with more than 6.25 Bitcoin in fees. I think there was one that topped out at sort of 6.7 Bitcoin in fees in a 10-minute block. So that block, whichever miner it went to, got 13 Bitcoin instead of 6. Long term, this is the sort of the plan, that the reward comes down to 3.125 at the halving, and continually halves and halves and halves. But fees would go up as the network gets used more. So yeah, that's a long, long way away. It's 2140. 117 years before the block rewards totally stop, but they will be sort of, very, very much reduced in even sort of 10 to 15 years. They'll be, getting basically nothing in reward. So they need the fees to go up, but of course with the high fees, people are looking at alternatives basically, so Lightning Network and sort of various layer 2s and other chains and that sort of thing. So they're sort of saying it'll be short-lived, but while it's there, certainly, it's a lovely little revenue and profit bump to the miners. Bit more sort of legitimacy news as well. Ernst & Young launching a carbon emission tracking platform on Ethereum. So they've announced this at the Global Blockchain Summit in London. I think the fact that they're there, and sort of various people there says enough. But they are launching products. They seem to be one of the sort of larger firms that are more keen on it. And yeah, this will be tracking sort of emissions of lots of different things, really, and sort of using carbon credit tokens to monitor it on Ethereum. No surprise, I guess, that it's gone on Ethereum. It's the biggest sort of smart contract platform. So yeah, it's I couldn't have really expected that to go on anything else. Would have been nice to go on Solana, but yeah, that's good news, I would say. And you do have to wonder how long Mr. Gensler really has in his job, sort of getting criticised by Congress and the government, and now getting criticised by JP Morgan and the Small Business Administration. So kind of thought certainly JP Morgan would sort of side with him, but yeah, it's sort of their new rule of demanding investment firms safeguard all of their client assets, including crypto, with approved custodians. Yeah, it's not really gone down well at all. The Small Business Administration says it drastically underestimates the potential impacts from the proposal, and it would require sweeping changes that small businesses sort of could struggle with. You really have had all manner of companies criticising this. Investment firm A16Z, Backed Holdings, the company owned by the parent company of the New York Stock Exchange, Intercontinental Exchange, I believe, and the New York Department of Financial Services have also criticised it. So, yeah, this has not gone down well at all. They're saying it's a step too far and isn't going to work. So, well done, Gary. And another great video from Twitter. This is the sort of large critic of Bitcoin that is funded by the big banks. Brad Sherman. Blows my mind that he would come out and say this, but yeah, here you go.
Crypto bros make money literally by making money, and they've made over $1 trillion out of thin air. They'll accuse the U.S. government of making money out of thin air. Maybe we do, but we're the U.S. government.
So two things I thought about this. One, why has he got such a sort of beaming, great big smile of a maniac when he's talking about this, sort of laughing at everything almost, and yeah, generally just being a bit strange. And two, did he really think that was sort of a good idea to essentially admit that they're printing money out of nothing, but they're the US government? Sort of, what good did he think was going to come of that? Everyone's playing it, and yeah, just reminding how much money they're printing, and that it's essentially no different. So a quick look at the coins for the week. Everything's down, but what is more down, I guess? Actually, Bitcoin not doing too well. 6.04% down for the week. Ethereum doing slightly better. 4.2% down. Solana, 3.3%. That's doing pretty well. Reasonably good usage numbers, daily active user numbers, with sort of the new services coming on, Helium and Hive Mapper and that sort of thing. Cardano, 2.5% down. Again, I'm getting very, very close to selling some of that and moving it over to Solana. Been sort of watching the developments on Cardano, and it's very, very slow. Sort of usage metrics and projects opening up on Cardano, very, very slow. Chainlink down 4.5%, XRP down 6%, Audius down 14.15%, That's not going too well. I will have a look at the dashboard and see if sort of usage numbers are reasonably good. But yeah, that's a hit. Polygon down 11.5%. This is sort of not going well at all. I maybe should have sold it before. Quant down 2.3%. Gala 7. Power Ledger 6.5%. Basic Attention Token 7.7%. Internet Computer 7.7%. And VeChain 4.6%. So yeah, broadly sort of everything's down. Surprising to see Bitcoin amongst the worst. But yeah, I'm biding my time, possibly adding to Solana with a bit of cash in the next week or two. Possibly switching some out of Cardano into it, which I know won't please Sir Lallington. We have our little sort of bag of crisps bet. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So leave your thoughts in comments below and like and subscribe. See you soon.